Imagine has taken the worship of the church and faced us back out into the world, so that as we go out through the church doors, we go out and we join God's team. We're no longer in church saying, come on God, come and join us here, but we're going outside and joining his team as he works wherever we are on our front line.
I think one thing that's really excited me is the fact the Methodist Church has embraced this concept and put resources into it. And I've actually found that quite a joyful experience.
Well, I think too often we are in our own little shell, we do our own little bit, and quite often we don't think we're doing anything. And I think the main thing, I like to think that we should be encouragers. And I think when you're talking to someone and they tell you something they've been doing, perhaps what they were doing last week or whatever, and you can say to them, God, that was brilliant. You know, did you realise what you were doing there? How you stood up for Jesus saying that? And they'll look at you and say, I didn't. What did I do? You know, and I think it's lovely to see that people are doing it, being disciples without realising what they're doing.
It's helped us to recognise that everybody has a story, and it's really important for those who are non-employed or retired that they too feel valued with their story. I think one of the things that hit me was that the retired people who were invited back to speak to groups continually spoke about what they used to do or their previous employment, and Imagine values what they're doing now and what they're going to do for God in the future.
And this idea that we're about making and growing disciples, and that's getting into conversations in the coffee lounge, it's into the content of worship, it's into the subject of our house groups, and it's into the way we're looking at our pastoral work. So it's starting to sort of infiltrate all aspects of what we're doing and within the leadership team as well.
17,000 a year.
This time tomorrow is when the preacher asks a member of the congregation to come out to the front. Usually they've been asked before, so they're prepared, but it doesn't have to be so. They come out to the front to talk about their lives in the next week. Maybe just a simple life, maybe a life with problems, so that we can then pray for the things that need to be prayed for, praise the things that are going on, and sometimes stand in awe at the lives that these people lead. So they just talk about the coming week, and then the preacher that we have, the lay preacher, is very good. He will sum up at the end before he lets the person sit down, and he will draw out how they think they're going to be working for Jesus, doing what they are doing, and what are their particular needs that they need praying for.
There's always this danger of people lapse into sort of secular conversations, and they talk about the football, especially when you've got Preston North End to support, in the coffee lounge. So what we tried to do is encourage members of the leadership team to instigate more serious conversations with people, like, well, how did the message today relate to what you're going to do next week? How's your job going, and all that sort of stuff, and try and really move faith issues into everyday life on the basis that, well, if none of us do it, then it'll never happen, and if some of us do it, and if there's 6 of us doing it, and we have 6 conversations with 6 different people every week, that mushrooms into lots of hundreds of conversations and encourages other people to have those conversations as well. We've no choice. This Imagine is not an option. LRCC haven't come up with another resource. This is what we're meant to be. This is the Great Commission from Matthew. We are meant to grow and to make disciples, and church life is about how we can equip one another to go out there and live our lives for Jesus.